This video is sponsored by Miblart. More about them later in the video. KDP paperback versus hardcover. Which should you choose? Many authors think Kindle Direct Publishing is the only option, but there are other print-on-demand companies that can still get your book on Amazon and into as many as 40,000 other retailers worldwide. To find the best, I ordered the same title in both paperback and hardcover from 4 major print-on-demand companies and compared them across print quality, cost, shipping speed, distribution, royalties, and ease of use. Let's see who comes out on top. Amazon KDP is the default choice for many, and there is a reason for that. You get direct access to Amazon's massive marketplace without a middleman taking a cut, and for some authors, that alone seals the deal. KDP distributes paperback books to 12 Amazon marketplaces and hardcover books to 9. You can also opt into expanded distribution for paperbacks, which reaches additional retailers in the United States and United Kingdom, though it is still limited compared to the reach of the other platforms. Traditionally, paperback and hardcover royalties have been 60% of the list price minus printing costs when sold on Amazon, and expanded distribution paying 40% minus print costs. However, as of June 10, 2025, books priced below certain thresholds in each marketplace now earn a reduced royalty rate of 50% instead of 60% for paperbacks and hardcovers. This change is tied to increased operational costs and means authors should review their list prices to ensure they still meet the new minimum price requirements. Now, KDP also announced reduced printing costs for certain color paperbacks in select marketplaces, which could help offset the lower royalty rate for some titles. Now, for this test, I ordered both a paperback and a hardcover. The paperback has KDP's standard matte cover, which I have always liked for nonfiction. Within days, the front cover bowed upward at the top right corner. I tried weighing it down, but it did not help. The paper is fine, nothing remarkable, but the interior print quality is where it takes a hit. The ink is so lightly saturated, it almost looks faded, and for readers with vision issues, that's going to be a problem. KDP's paperback interiors have declined in quality over the last couple of years in my experience, and this copy was no exception. The hardcover was a genuine surprise. I have often been critical of KDP's hardcovers because they used to arrive warped, with edges curling outward like water damage happened to it. Now this time, the copy came in with crisp edges, a solid binding, and an overall polished look. The interior print was clean and readable, not quite as saturated as IngramSpark or BookVault, but a huge improvement over earlier comparisons. Now, my one nitpick is a faint glue mark on the front cover. It's subtle, but blemishes like that can lead to returns and negative reviews from customers expecting a mint condition new book. Still, this is the first time I've had something positive to say about KDP's hardcover quality. Now on cost, KDP remains the cheapest option in this lineup. My paperback proof was $3.09 plus shipping and tax for a total of $5.60. The hardcover proof was $7.74 plus shipping and tax for a total of $12.24. One thing to note is the difference between ordering a proof copy and an author copy. A proof copy will have a not for resale watermark across the cover, and you can order it before or after publication. Now, author copies are wholesale purchases without the watermark, and you can only order them after the book is live or scheduled for release. Shipping speed was reasonable. Paperback took about 6 days to arrive and was shipped in a padded envelope. It arrived without damage, but a cardboard mailer would have been better. A hardcover arrived in about 5 days, packaged in a small cardboard box with paper padding. I wish paperbacks received the same care. As far as ease of use, the KDP dashboard is clean and intuitive, and most authors are familiar with it. I had no issues with uploads or trim sizes thanks to Miblart for delivering files that were ready to go. The strongest selling point for KDP is direct access to Amazon without a middleman. Some also believe Amazon favors KDP printed books over competitors like IngramSpark or Draft2Digital. The biggest drawback is the disappointing paperback print quality. Seeing it in person is the only way to truly understand how underwhelming it is. Talking about KDP really highlights something I deal with often: formatting and file specs. When I publish beyond KDP, whether it's Draft2Digital, BookVault, or especially IngramSpark, the requirements change. That's where Miblart has been a lifesaver for me. Anytime I submit my cover design and interior file, I know it's going to pass without a hitch. And if for some reason it doesn't, Miblart's quick to make the adjustment, so I'm back on track fast. I even used the KDP variation of my design for Draft2Digital and BookVault, but IngramSpark is another story. Their specs can be tricky, and that's exactly why I let Miblart handle it. They deal with the headaches, so I don't have to. They've handled my entire book series, from cover designs to interior formatting. And they especially shine when it comes to fiction covers. The level of detail, the way they capture mood, and the fact that their designs actually help books sell, that's what keeps me coming back. Whether you need a simple redesign, a custom fiction cover, or a full publishing package, they've got you covered. If you want that same peace of mind, head over to my affiliate link at dalelinks.com/Miblart. You'll even get 10% off when you use the coupon code DALE10 at checkout. Again, that's dalelinks.com/Miblart. Special thanks to my longtime sponsors, Miblart. Appreciate the support. IngramSpark is one of the biggest names in print on demand for wide reach and bookstore-ready quality. They distribute through Ingram Book Group, which connects your titles across a massive network, often cited around 40,000 outlets, though they do not list every partner publicly due to agreements. Now, for print, you can publish paperbacks and hardcovers with extensive trim and binding options, and they actively detail regional retail partners across North America, the UK, and Europe, and Australia and New Zealand. Royalties are based on the wholesale discount you set per region. Typical ranges include 40 to 55% discount in the US, 35 to 55% in the UK, Europe, and 30 to 55% in Canada and Global Connect. That translates to royalty ranges of roughly 45% to 70% after print costs and a 1% distribution fee through IngramSpark. Uploads are now free, but updates after the first 60 days cost $25. However, if you're a member of certain author organizations, you'll be able to get some type of a free update code per month. So for instance, in the Alliance of Independent Authors, which I'm a member of, they give one per month there. And I think IBPA has it as well. So just do some investigation on that. For this comparison, I ordered both a paperback and a hardcover. I accidentally selected a glossy cover finish for the paperback instead of matte. That is on me, not IngramSpark. The result was that the color saturation and contrast were stunning. The cover really pops. I'm not usually a fan of glossy covers, but this one made me rethink that. The paper feels similar to KDP's, but the interior print quality is exceptional, with deep blacks that stay crisp without warping pages. I almost always like IngramSpark's print quality, and this was no exception. The hardcover is in another league compared to KDP's. The binding is excellent. There's no glue residue on the cover, and the color saturation matches the paperback. The interior print looks the same as the paperback, which is a sharp contrast to KDP, where paperback and hardcover interiors differ. Pricing for my order was paperback at $3.83, hardcover at $7.63, shipping at $3.99, and tax at $1.24 for a total of $16.69. I chose basic printing and basic shipping to keep this fair across platforms. Delivery was different than usual. My orders typically arrived together with IngramSpark, but these shipped separately. The paperback arrived in 16 days and the hardcover arrived in 23 days. My hunch is the glossy paperback may have been produced at a different facility than the matte, but I cannot confirm this. This is just a wild theory. These turnaround times are typical for POD, by the way, and faster expectations are usually shaped by Amazon Prime and their 2-day delivery stuff, which is not a fair comparison to most print services. Now for the customer service story. I ordered my proofs right before a big move to a new home. Unfortunately, they didn't arrive before I left, and the courier returned them to IngramSpark when they saw I was no longer at the address. That was entirely my fault. I reordered the proofs for this video, and I also contacted their support about the returned order. Even though the mix-up was on me, IngramSpark shipped those original proofs to my new address at no extra cost. I would not expect this for everyone, and I doubt they knew it was me, but it was impressive nonetheless. Now, for ease of use, IngramSpark feels like a more advanced version of the KDP dashboard. They collect more metadata, and that extra detail helps surface your book to the right audience. Take your time on setup because it is worth it. The biggest advantage is their reach and consistent professional quality. The biggest drawback is the $25 update fee after 60 days, but that's far easier to swallow when you have an Ally membership or another author membership and take advantage of those free monthly codes. BookVault is a UK-based print-on-demand service that focuses only on print books. They distribute to Amazon, Gardner's, Alibris, and the Great British Bookshop. You can also sell direct through Shopify, WooCommerce, Wix, PayHip, one I use, or their API. They offer paperbacks and multiple hardcover options with different finishes. You set the wholesale discount for each region, typically between 20 and 60%, which works out to around 40 to 80% royalty after print costs. BookVault also charges a 5% distribution fee, and sales through the Great British Bookshop pay 90% after print costs, with BookVault and the Great British Bookshop each taking 5%. They do charge for first-time uploads at BookVault, but I get unlimited wave codes through my membership with the Alliance of Independent Authors. Now, the paperback looked great with strong color saturation, but it lost a little ground in contrast. Side by side with IngramSpark, the background on the BookVault cover looked more muddy and dark, although it was still better than KDP's paperback quality. The interior printing matched IngramSpark's and was much better than KDP's. The hardcover was almost identical to IngramSpark's version, but with slightly less contrast. Its background looked better than the paperbacks, giving it a cleaner finish, and the interior print quality was the same for both formats. The only real issue was a large dent at the top of the hardcover. The box was in perfect condition, so the damage must have happened before packing. This is the first time I've had a problem like this with BookVault, so I consider it an outlier. I could have asked for a replacement, but chose not to since it just wasn't worth the extra trouble. Now, the paperback cost $3.63. The hardcover was $6.64. Shipping was $8.41, and tax was $1.27 for a total of $19.95. I chose standard production speed and USPS media mail to keep things comparable to other platforms. Both books arrived together in a cardboard mailer in 10 days, which is a solid turnaround time. BookVault's dashboard is clean and professional, but the publishing process feels disjointed. Uploading and publishing happen in separate areas, which makes it less intuitive than other POD platforms. Now, once you figure out where everything is, it works fine, but it's not as smooth as it could be. Now, quick side note, I use the same interiors and covers as I do for KDP with no issues over on BookVault. IngramSpark requires way different specs and can be a hassle. Now, the best part of BookVault is the exceptional print quality from their UK facility. It's on another level compared to every other POD company. If you're local to the UK, I highly recommend ordering proofs just to see the difference. US printing is still better than KDP and on par with IngramSpark, making it a strong choice for authors in North America. The main drawbacks are the clunky publishing process and the upload fee, but for authors willing to get past those, BookVault offers high-quality printing and solid distribution. Draft2Digital is best known for ebooks, and they also offer print paperbacks in select trim sizes. For print, they distribute through Ingram Book Group, which reaches over 40,000 outlets. Printing is handled by Lightning Source, and paperbacks are available in one of 6 trim sizes with black ink only. Royalties are a flat 45% minus the base print costs, and this route goes beyond the limited US and UK coverage of KDP's expanded distribution. The paperback I received was matte and nearly identical to the IngramSpark copy. Print quality is crisp with strong color saturation and contrast. It's considerably better than KDP's paperback, and compared to BookVault, it's marginally better with a background that has a stronger contrast. Interior print quality is dark and clean, very much like IngramSpark. Paper quality is unremarkable, but not bad. Overall, it is a solid result. There is no hardcover option yet over on Draft2Digital. My paperback was $3.78, shipping was $5.60, and tax was 75 cents for a total of $10.13. I chose the most basic shipping to keep the comparison fair again. Now, early on, when D2D came out of beta for print, proofs were over $30, but they have since adjusted and now offer options for all budgets. I picked the cheapest option. The order arrived in 16 days in a sturdy cardboard mailer and in great condition. D2D's dashboard is one of the best. The upload and publishing workflow is intuitive, and they offer free interior formatting and cover formatting if you bring your own ebook cover. I use my KDP files on D2D with no issues. Miblart's files work perfectly here. The biggest advantage is ease of use paired with wide print reach through Ingram. The biggest drawback is that you can only update a print book once every 90 days unless you purchase a $25 update token. Get everything right on the first upload to avoid extra costs. Now that we've gone through each platform one by one, let's look at who came out on top in each key category. For print quality, the best paperback goes to IngramSpark and Draft2Digital. Both deliver dark, crisp interiors and excellent cover contrast. For hardcover, IngramSpark takes the crown with perfect binding, rich color saturation, and interiors identical to its paperback version. When it comes to cost, the cheapest paperback proof was KDP at $5.60 total. For the hardcover, the cheapest option was IngramSpark at $10.25 total, and it also happened to be the best in quality. For delivery speed, KDP was the fastest overall. The hardcover arrived in 5 days and the paperback arrived in 6 days. Now, on distribution reach, IngramSpark and Draft2Digital tie for the top spot. Both use Ingram Book Group's network, which gets your book into Amazon plus as many as 40,000 other retailers and libraries worldwide. Now, for ease of use, Draft2Digital wins with one of the smoothest dashboards in the business, offering free interior formatting, simple uploads, and a clean workflow from start to finish. So here's the takeaway. If you want the absolute cheapest option for proof copies, KDP wins on paperback price, and IngramSpark wins on hardcover price. If quality is your top priority, IngramSpark is the clear choice across the board. Draft2Digital delivers similar quality to IngramSpark's paperback with a much easier flow. BookVault shines with strong turnaround and unbeatable UK print quality, which makes it a great option for authors local to their home base. Now, can you publish through all of them? This is something I get asked a lot, so let's clear it up. You have to be selective about where you publish, especially for print. If you're using KDP, deselect expanded distribution for your print book if you want to use any of these other 3 options, IngramSpark, Draft2Digital, or BookVault. You'll also have to choose either IngramSpark or Draft2Digital, but not both, because they use the same Ingram Book Group distribution. Now for BookVault, you'll want to deselect your global network if you're already publishing through any of the other 3 options I mentioned previously. That leaves you with the Great British Bookshop and direct sales. If you don't want to fuss with Ingram Book Group at all, you can go exclusively with BookVault and still get great quality. Now, could you use a different ISBN on each platform and get away with publishing everywhere? Yes, but that's going to create duplicate listings for your title and dilute your marketing efforts. Stick with select options, not all of them. And if you want a deeper dive on exactly how to make those choices, I cover it in detail in my award-winning book, Why Publishing for Authors, available at every major online retailer. If you're deciding whether to stick with Amazon or PublishWide, this next video will make that decision a whole lot easier. Click here or visit the link in the description to watch my breakdown of the 10 best self-publishing companies for print books. I'll see you there.